Hey everyone, welcome to another walkthrough video of Excel Wonders. We're going to look at a tool called AI ChatGPT Blog Generator, and this tool allows you to generate blogs and blog articles at scale using the capabilities of Excel and most importantly, the OpenAI API key. So when you arrive at this page, this file, you should arrive at this page called Start, which asks you for some information about your blog, which will be super important in other pages here, as I'll show you. So it starts for blog name, the domain name, whether you want the URL for each article to be generated from the category name or specific string, the blog description, which is really important because it will be used in prompts, and then three settings here. Whether you want to use categories or not, so you can select, for example, yes, which shows a new area here for you to populate with the list of blog categories. And then you can select no. And if you select no, then you need to add the description of the blog target audience. Let's select yes for the purpose of this demo. Then you can use or not team members. So if you select yes, you will scroll down and you see that now there's here this field for team members, or you can select no. Let's keep it as yes. And then it asks you for the maximum length of an article. So for example, let's select here 1,200 words per article. And if you select that, then it asks you to select the writing style or the different characteristics of your writing style, which again will be used in the articles too. So I'm going to select as casual, humorous, respectful, and enthusiastic. It is very important as you populate these, you click here to check for errors because it gives you the errors or where you need to correct some of these. So for example, when I clicked, it showed me that I miss blog article categories actually. So I'm going to create new. So I'm going to, for example, put dogs and cats. And I'm going to put the category description and the target audience. So target audience is, for example, dog owners. And here, cat owners. And then the category description, let's put insights about dogs. And here, insights about cats. Of course, that I highly recommend that you are as descriptive as you can. But for the purpose of the demo, I think I can continue with these very simplistic descriptions. Then you have to put team members. Let's, for example, John Smith, Rebecca Stevens, and let's put here Kevin Lar. I have a list of auto-generated names here. You can also put a team and email contact, but this is optional, and for now, let's just keep it as is. I already had selected the writing style, so now when I click check for errors, it tells me we didn't find any error, we're ready to add keywords and generate articles. And that's the next step. The next step is to go to keywords and to add here either manually or generate through AI the list of keywords that will be relevant for your blog. Now, if you use a SEO tool and it generates for you through research a specific set of keywords, you can just copy paste that table and add it here. These are all open fields. What you need to do though is to set a category for every article, for every keyword. But you can also use the AI feature here. So for example, if you click here, Run AI, it asks you a few things. It asks you what model you want to use. Let's, for example, select this one, and I'll show you the list of models. It asks you the number of keywords you want to generate. Let's, for example, put, I want to generate 6 keywords. And it asks you how you want to distribute the keywords per category, either evenly split across the 2 categories that I have, or focus on one category, which I could select. I'll select evenly split. Generate keywords, yes. I give it a few seconds, and here it is. I used AI to generate the keywords here. If I had selected 20, it would generate 20 keywords for me here. It also generates automatically the category as well. Now, you may be asking, like, how are you generating this? Like, where do you put the information about the models and the API key? If you go to settings, here, you should have the list of all the features, all the settings that you need in order to create the different, or in order to use the AI features in this file. So for example, first of all, you need to have an API key. Here it shows empty. It's just because I deleted my key, or I'm not showing my key here on purpose, but there's a key here. If you don't have a key, it's not going to work. And then you also have the list of models. Now you can set the name and you can set the API model term. So this is the term that will be used by the API. It's very important you put 2. And the reason why this is open is when you see new models coming up, and I'm sure OpenAI will release new models, you can add them here. You have a maximum of 10. And again, very important as well, the first one will be the default model. So some features here allow you to select the model you want, but some of them use a default model. So it's very important that the first one you have here is the default model that you are comfortable using at any instance. And then you have here also the list of prompts. And these are all the prompts. They're completely open. They're editable. You can change however you want. Let me put back. And so you have all of it here and you can change. If you make a mistake, you can always click here to reset prompt. So for example, imagine that I go here and I delete all this and I make a mistake. Oops, it's gone. I can always click here, reset prompt. It asks me to confirm and it's back to what it was. I really recommend that you're careful changing the prompts here because obviously as you change them, it may have effects in how the tool itself will work, but I left it open in case you want. So let's go back to articles. So these are the articles that were generated. You can always put the volume and competition level from your SEO tool, but this is pretty much it. You can also sort and export into a different file. Now let's go to articles. This is the exciting part because this is where you can add articles for your blog and create them through AI. So right now it shows here there's no articles at the moment, so you need to click here Run AI. And then it asks me to choose my adventure. So do I want to generate new headlines? Do you want to generate the blog copy for the article? Do you want to generate meta descriptions or social media content? This is the journey you should take. So you should think of this as step 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's start with step 1. You click confirm and it asks you a few information. So first of all, what is the model you want to use? Let's, for example, select GPT for Turbo. How many headlines do I want to generate? You have a maximum of 2,000 headlines. So I am going to create, let's say, 10. And then do I want to focus on a keyword or on a specific keyword, or do I want evenly split? If I click here to focus on one keyword, I can choose the specific keyword. But this time, I'm going to just evenly split the headlines across my keywords. I'm clicking next. I can set the target publishing date. Let's say, for example, I want the 31st of May. I can select the priority level. So priority is an optional field, and you can select high, medium, or low. Let's put, for example, high. And I also can select an author. The author corresponds to the person who will be then responsible of reviewing and publishing this. And this is the list of team members that you have added in Start. So for example, I'm going to select John Smith. You click next, and this is very, very important. When you are generating articles or article headlines, you need to select what is the structure type that you want for each article, or how many articles you want to follow for each structure type. And you have 3 here. You have a listicle, how-to guides, and problem solution. I have 10 articles that I'm generated. So here the total needs to be 10. So I'm creating here 3 listicles, 4 how-to guides, and 3 problem solutions. So I click confirm, and I cannot go higher than this because I had selected, as you see, 10 articles. If I go from 10 to, let's say, 9, you will see that I have to now put this as 9 because if I kept it at 10, it would give me an error message. So I'm creating 3 of each. Confirm, yes. Now you can go grab a coffee because this is going to take time. All right. So after it's generated, the little window disappears, and you should have here the 10 headlines, again, all generated with AI. You have the strategic keywords that were associated to each article, and you have it all here. You have the category, you have the type of article, you have the next step, which in this case for each one of them is to generate the article copy. You have the priority, the reviewer, the target publish date, and all of these shows as empty because again, these are the next steps. So now let's click again, run AI. And because we've already done generate headlines, let's now show generate blog article copy. If I click confirm, then it asks me for very similar information that it asked me before. So I'm going to create here, I'm using this model, and then it asks me the number of articles. So it's giving me that I have a maximum of 9 articles. Why? Because there's 9 articles here, or 9 headlines that have no content. And if I select, for example, 3, then it's going to loop through this list and find the first 3 articles that have no copy and will generate for them. So this is very important to understand how it works. It's going to ask you whether you want to update the status field to review article copy or publish article. This is more, if you don't want to review it, you can just go straight to publish. If you want to create the articles to then review it, you should stick to this option here. And then you can select to generate the URL automatically or not. I'm going to click it yes. I click create new articles. It's going to give me a confirmation message. I click yes. And then again, this is going to take a while, so you can go similarly to what I said before, grab a coffee or something. And here it is. So now if I scroll here to the right, these fields are now populated. Why? Because I generated both the copy and the URL through the previous step, and the copy was generated via AI. This is one of the ways you have to generate the article itself. But what if you want now to edit that article? Okay, so if you click here in this little arrow, it's going to open this window here that allows you to edit some of the details of the article. So you click next, and this is the article. And here you can change the article to however you want. So for example, I'm going to just correct some of the styling issues here. It's very easy to do. This is all generated by AI, by the way. So very easy. And now if I click next, I can also generate, I'll show you in a second, I can generate straight here, but I'm going to click to save changes. Yes. And now if I click here again and I go back to the article, here it is. It shows now showing or saving or having saved the edits that I have done in the previous step. Now let's look at, for example, this one here. Okay, unlocking the secrets of dog training. This one has no article here. Now, if I go here on this box, on this button, and I click next, this shows empty. And why? Because I had not generated yet the article. And I showed you one way of doing it, but let me show you the second way. So if you click here, generate article with AI, you click yes, you give it a few seconds. Again, this takes time because it communicates with the API. So just don't worry if it shows here it's not responding. It is responding, or it is working. Just you have to wait for a few seconds or sometimes even minutes if you have a lot of articles that you're generating. But in this case, it should be just a few more seconds. And here it is. Here's an article for this headline that had before no article. And again, you can make the edits however you want here. And as you click next, confirm, yes, it changes. And now if I scroll here to the right, now this article is here. So again, there's two ways of generating articles. You can either click on this arrow to go to the specific article and generate the content for that article. This is if you want to generate on a one by one basis, or you can click here Run AI and you can generate in bulk. Now, if you want to generate, so let's click here Run AI. You can generate also meta descriptions and it asks you for some information, or you can generate the social media content. I'm going to just generate the social media content for one of the articles. So I'm clicking next. Again, wait a few seconds, it is working. And now if I go here to the first one, oops, if I here to the first one, here it is, it shows me the social post and hashtags as well. And if I click here on this arrow to edit the article, I click next, and here it is. Here is the blog, here is the social post and the hashtags, and I can make edits however I want. Imagine I want to just delete these emojis. So let's, for example, do this. And let's imagine also I want to delete these hashtags because it doesn't make sense to have it repeated here. So I'm going to delete this, confirm, yes. If I now click again to go back to the same window, those changes are saved. And that's it. That's pretty much what you can do. The other thing I wanted to show you is that once you have here a good set of articles completely generated and reviewed, you can export the articles to another file. So for example, you can click here export, which asks you whether you want to export the file, how you want the file to be named, whether you want the format to be Excel or PDF, and where do you want it to be saved. And once you click export, it saves the entire table with all the articles in a different file that you can fully edit and make changes however you want. And this can be very useful, for example, if you are uploading in WordPress or using another blog tool, because it allows you, again, if you generate, for example, let's say 500 articles, you can just generate here 500 articles in a few minutes and then copy paste that through the export tool into your blog and have your blog pretty much done in an hour. I have tested it myself and it works. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.